Good morning. This is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life, bringing you the daily word from men for March 12th, 2025, Wednesday. And this is the quote, and the word is merit. What is more, I consider everything a loss because of the surpassing worth of knowing Christ Jesus my Lord, for whose sake I have lost all things. I consider them garbage, that I may gain Christ. How do we attribute value to something? Think of gold and ask yourself why we value that metal over iron ore. What about diamonds over pebbles? Is it not because of the work involved in obtaining it, or is it scarcity? Our work and toil to produce gold and diamonds has come at a great cost to humanity over the years. Today, many of the processes to produce these precious valuables are completed with machines that have preserved lives. We place important distinction and value on the things that merit them. God says that He keeps Himself hidden for those who seek Him out, like gold and diamonds. It takes worth to build a relationship with Him, not because He wants to play hard to get, but because He wants us to value what we find and treat it preciously. When we find something easily, it can also be quickly discarded. When you value something of worth and quality, you protect and keep it. In your life, what has merit? So, he speaks here of gold and says this is not because of the work involved in obtaining it or its scarcity. And both of those are true, but it's also the desirability of gold, that it has an aesthetic value. People consider it beautiful. I was just watching a video on YouTube of the amount of work involved. There's a pottery company in Japan that puts gold leaf on the inside of bowls and cups. And they get a sheet of gold and they got to pound it down to get that gold leaf from, like, I don't know, a half an inch to down to a tenth of a millimeter. So it's so tiny. That's a lot of work involved in that, but it's absolutely beautiful when you see it done. A cup black on the outside and gold on the inside. Uh, I never knew that's how they did it. I thought they might just dip it in gold and then pour out what wasn't to stick on the sides. I didn't know it was so involved. What has merit in my life? Well, I don't think that anything in my life has merit per se unless I join it with Christ. Uh, Now, I'm talking since Christ came. Obviously, there's situations like the Good Samaritan. Now, his work had merit, that he would come by and see a guy in the ditch and put him up. How many of us would do that? Help him, put him up in a hotel, and then say, "I'll come back if there's anything that's left." But I don't know. It's a difficult question to answer. I don't I don't think I have a really good answer on that as to why anything that I do would have merit outside of Christ or God. Um, because he gives merit to everything. He's the one that, created us. And if we were here just in and of or by ourselves, what we did would have no merit. There's no higher purpose. So it's not like I'm not trying to answer the question. And I think it's a difficult one to answer. I'd be more than willing to hear what you folks think. And so rather than talk about something that I'm not really sure about, I'll keep my mouth shut. There's a saying in AA: God grant me the serenity to know when I have nothing to say and the wisdom not to say it. And I've always liked that as a phrase. Keep me in line so my head doesn't get too big. So God bless. Have a safe and holy Wednesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow. And hopefully I'll have an answer.